Hello everyone, I'm Sean Dugas with the Pensacola News Journal and PNJ.com. With me is Bob West, who's the Director of Public Safety here for the Santa Rosa Island Authority, which includes, of course, beautiful Pensacola Beach. Today we're going to be talking about some hazards on the island, along with obviously the lush beauty of the island. There are some dangers to look out for. Bob, talk a little bit about some of the biggest hazards that visitors to the island can experience.
Okay, well, clearly the biggest hazards are surf and our rip currents. It kills more people everywhere on beaches than anything else. Hands down, between 4 years, 2000 to 2003, 21 people were drowned here. So clearly rip currents are, and if you look nationwide, they kill way more than sharks, way more than lightning, way more than anything. That is the #1 hazard, and that's why we want people to always swim with lifeguards. Probably the second greatest hazard out here is lightning. During the summer, we're very prone to having lightning in the afternoons, very, very prone to it. There have been several people killed on all of our neighboring beaches over the last several years.
Wow.
So in the afternoon, when it starts to really heat up, you see those high top clouds coming, when thunder roars, go indoors. That means leave the beach, seek shelter in your vehicle. Your hard top car, you're perfectly fine in your vehicle. Another good hint for you is when we make the announcement, you see the lifeguards leaving the towers, running to the building, that's a good time for you to leave the beach and run to your vehiel.
Gotcha.
It's just clearly a dangerous place to be. The third hazard, if you will, is sharks. And the reality is that sharks are not a hazard.
Okay.
We do have sharks out there, obviously. If you go to the end of the pier, you can see them out there pretty much any day of the week.
Sure.
But if I'm not mistaken, since 1988, only 5 people have been killed by sharks in the entire Florida, all of Florida. Sure, they're out there. If you see a shark, obviously leave the water. But the reality is that sharks are not a true threat to you. The biggest medical problem we see is sunburn. You know, our sun is very close. We're close to the equator. Our sun is very, very bright. It refracts and reflects off of our sand. So it doesn't matter where you are on the beach, under umbrella, under anything. You're going to get burned out here. So you must use plenty of sun protective stuff. At least a level of 15, at least. You need to reapply it at least 2 hours before you get out in the sun, because it actually soaks into your skin. It's absorbed. That's how it works. You know, if you throw your sunscreen on, you're going to jump in the water. You just threw away a couple bucks worth of sunscreen. So put it on at least 20 minutes prior to getting out in the sun, and then you should reapply it after you get out of the water, dry off, and reapply it, and at least every 2 hours. In addition to that, don't forget in the early spring, the tops of your feet. You've been wearing shoes all year, and burned feet or a debilitating injury. You're done.
Yes, they are.
And when you go from long pants to shorts, we see a lot of horrible burns in the lower legs. And of course, don't forget about your ears, your neck, and your face. So a nice broad-brimmed hat, keep the sun off of you. But the sun is, you come out here and you get badly burned, that's a trip ruiner for you. And unfortunately, once you get the first day, get a little red and burned, you come back the next day, the burn is just that much worse. In addition to that, for an old guy like me who's been in the sun my entire life, the sun, there's no such thing as a safe tan. That tanning is your skin, in essence, being damaged by the rays. So, so while you may think you look better with a tan, the reality is having that tan is posing you a great injury and threat. So avoid it. And for small children, potentially doubles their chance of developing skin cancer later in their life. So, so children under the age of 1 should really never be out here on our beach during the summer.
Okay. Now, Bob, talk a little bit about heat stroke and heat exhaustion and sort of the difference in the two of those and how that happens.
Okay, well, it's a progression, if you will. It starts with heat cramps. Anyone who's been out heavily exerting themselves and the calves in your legs cramp up, you start to cramp up. Well, that's heat cramps, and that's your first hint to you that you're getting a little dehydrated and you're losing your electrolytes. If you don't do anything then, it progresses to heat exhaustion, and what happens then is you're really heavily sweating, and since you're sweating, you're losing fluid, if you will, out of your body. So your body has an increasingly difficult time cooling itself. In addition to that, if you stand up real quickly, since you don't have near the fluid in your system, it can make you real lightheaded. That people will get nauseated, very, very common. And if you don't do anything, sooner or later they're going to pass out here. So obviously, drink plenty of clear water. Clear water is by far the best. Stay away from the real sugary stuff, the Gatorades and the Cokes.
Okay.
That high sugar content slows the absorption of water. So good old plain water is the best thing you do. If you're going to eat stuff, eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Stay away from the really fried stuff, the really greasy stuff, because once again, it just slows the absorption of water.
How does alcohol affect that?
It further dehydrates you.
Okay.
And we have a lot of people who enjoy alcohol, beverages, adult beverages,
Sure.
if you will, except for our alcohol-free area on the west side of the pier. They just drink responsibly, and you should do just fine.
Okay.
But alcohol does dehydrate you worse. If in fact you don't, when you're starting to get lightheaded, starting to get a little nauseated, you're overheated, you feel a little weak and faint. If you don't do anything then, and you stay out in the sun, it will progress to heat stroke. And heat stroke is a true life-threatening emergency. In essence, your cooling system fails. You cannot cool your body down. You get astronomically high temperatures, 106, 108 degrees. And at that temperature, you start burning brain cells. And that is truly a lethal event. So, so we'd like to see if you have heat cramps, drink plenty of water, get out of the sun, call it a day. If you have heat exhaustion, you're not going to feel well the rest of the day. Go on home. You're not doing yourself any good.
Don't let it escalate to the point of heat stroke.
Absolutely.
Bob, we certainly appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time and speaking with us.
Sure, thank you.